What's the worst case of oversharing you've experienced on social media? Story 1. A Facebook friend of mine posted that she was worried because her 15-year-old son's right hand had begun turning a strange brown/orange color. There were pictures. She'd made a doctor's appointment. She then explained it was because he was using his sister's tanning lotion. Only she didn't seem to realize the reason only his right hand was tan and not the rest of his body. So, she let all of Facebook know her son jacked off using tanning lotion. Story 2. My mom wrote a very long, very detailed blog post about my sister's miscarriage before most of the extended family even knew she was pregnant. Definitely strained their relationship. When my sister got pregnant again about a year later, my mom was the last to know. We now have a family rule that my mom can't blog about anyone else without permission. Story 3. I was in the airport on my way home from another continent when I was scrolling through Facebook and read my aunt's post, not a message, but a Facebook status, about how my grandpa, who I was going home to stay with for a couple months, died that morning. Called my mom, who had apparently asked all family members to wait 24 hours before posting anything on social media so that I could have been told in person. My whole family was livid at this aunt for a while. 3 years later, my uncle, a brother to my mom and this aunt, died unexpectedly in the middle of the night. His adult daughter happened to be traveling to their house that day from her out-of-town home, so her mom asked all family to refrain from posting anything on social media until the daughter arrived so that she could tell her in person, and also prevent her from driving while distraught. The aforementioned aunt decided to ignore this request again, and my poor cousin read about her dad's death in a Facebook post when she stopped for breakfast. Story 4. I ride horses, and I'm Facebook friends with this one woman I know through riding who seems to have a bit of an unhealthy obsession with her horse. Several years ago, she moved across the state to a much lower COL area, was able to buy some land and keep her horse at her house, rather than boarding him somewhere. Shortly after she and the horse moved in, this woman started writing these long posts about her horse that I can only describe as sort of erotic? Some sample phrases. He is more aroused here and has been pacing the fence some. Lonely, I wonder? I love it when he finds me in the pasture and stands close to nuzzle and lick me. One stroke of his slick summer coat, and the scent of his skin and breath, and I know I did the right thing by bringing him home. When I go in the pasture with him, he is all over me, nuzzling my arms and pushing his head into my hands, gently like I taught him. What am I to do with all this sugar? I don't go on Facebook much anymore. Story 5. Someone I used to work with posts a picture of her and her boyfriend every day on Instagram with some lovey-dovey caption at the bottom, an account of how many days they've been together. Every month they celebrate their anniversary. When they broke up, she deleted every photo with both of them in it, leaving about only 3 photos left on her account. She got a new boyfriend about a month later, and now she does the same thing with this new guy, and I swear to God I think she's been reusing some of the old captions she made of the old BF. Story 6. A cousin who gave the entire world updates on the sex she and her husband had, in over-the-top, pornographic detail. She was friends with her entire family on Facebook, from our grandmother to her children. She got super angry with me and lashed out when I suggested in a comment that she keep it to herself. I'm embarrassed to be related to her. Thank God she lives hundreds of miles from me and I never see her. Story 7. This is long sorry. There is a girl I went to high school with who I followed on Facebook. She was a couple years older than me and I wasn't friends with her, but she was in one of my classes and she definitely had a reputation as being just genuinely weird. Anyway, she ended up getting pregnant with twins. I think she was like 21 or 22 and her boyfriend/fiancé/baby daddy was like 45. She was a chronic oversharer on Facebook anyway, but when she got pregnant it got really bad. One time she posted texts with her baby daddy where he was saying he wanted a paternity test and he didn't believe the kids were his. She posted about how she didn't have any money and if anyone knew how she could make money from home and not working, how she was gonna raise twins? A couple months after the twins were born, one girl and one boy, she posted about how the boy twin was in the hospital because he randomly stopped breathing, and now He might have brain damage. Obviously, this is horrible, and I kept following her posts to see updates. She would update it pretty frequently, but the way she did is not what a parent of a dying child would do. She would say, "Oh, the doctors say he had a respiratory infection and we'll probably have to take him off life support." And then 2 minutes later would be tagging her friends in memes and stupid Facebook challenges and fight videos. The baby ended up passing away, and even then she would post only pictures of the daughter, and not sound remorseful at all. She would also post about how the daughter got taken by CPS because there was an investigation, but she would blow off any of her followers' questions by saying, "Oh, it's just protocol," or some BS like that. I can't believe how much she overshared on Facebook, and I just can't fathom why she wants to share the intimate details of her life. In a horrible turn of events, it turns out her and her boyfriend put a blanket on top of the baby when he wouldn't stop crying and then went outside to smoke, and when they came back he was barely breathing. They got charged with manslaughter, I believe, but she is out of prison and now works in my local grocery store. Story 8. My one friend from high school finally grew out of this phase, but every time her toddler would ask lunch, she would post a pic of him in his high chair with the phrase, "Billy, changed his name for privacy, loves mommy's peanut butter toast. Billy loves his spaghetti. Billy loves mommy's pancakes." And so on and so forth. I can understand if he was way younger and occasionally show him trying food, or if he was autistic and this was a feeding therapy milestone. But nope, a whole 2.5 years of what Billy ate for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. Same high chair, every freaking day. I almost became invested as I would log into Facebook like, "Gee, what did Billy eat today?" Story 9. I will never forget this post. Old restaurant coworker. Followed him because all of his life drama would go down on Facebook. People posting to his wall about how he stole a child's bike and ruined her birthday. His mom calling him out for drug relapses and stealing from her. All on Facebook. When he broke up with another old coworker, he took to Facebook. He wrote a wall of text calling her every name in the book, talking about how he was going to miss her daughter, then finished with something close to this. "Good luck finding another guy willing to put up with your fish market smelling pussy." Story 10. Overall, it really wasn't that bad, but a set of twins I went to HS with got pregnant back to back. And they posted pics and updates relentlessly. Multiple times a day. So about 6 months into the second twin's pregnancy, I commented on one of her pics. "Jesus, Ashley, you've been pregnant for like 15 months, have the baby or don't," and was promptly blocked by them both. Their older sister, who I'm actually friends with, thought it was hilarious. Edit. So apparently, back to back. Isn't clear, they got pregnant one after another, as in the second announced her pregnancy about the same time the first gave birth. Story 11. My half-sister. Every trashy detail of every trashy moment of her trashy life ends up on FB. Or it did before she blocked me for calling her on her bullshit. The final straw for me and my brother was when she posted, "Well, my mom wouldn't send me money, so I'm homeless and freezing to death. It was September in North Carolina. I slept with some dude for money and now I'm pregnant." My stepmother refused to send her money for drugs. She was homeless for stealing from her former roommates for drug money. She had also faked several pregnancies for drug money and sympathy. I can't say I'm sorry in the least that she blocked me before I could block her. Two active duty soldiers who are married to each other, with completely open Facebook pages, start airing their drama about cheating on each other. Each admitting that they cheated on each other, how they are going F each over in the divorce. Their seal was on their Facebook page, so was the garrison commander. Both got UCMJ action for adultery. But wait, it gets better. They were ordered to cease talking about the proceedings on social media. What do they both do? They go to social media, conjure to brag about cheating on each other and put their commander, garrison commander, and respective JAG lawyers on blast. They are both no longer in the army, and yes, they are divorced. It was truly epic, and they kept bitching about their punishment, and everything. They basically both started digging a hole and didn't fucking stop until they got to hell. They then bitched about how F they are. Story 13. During his last weeks, my grandfather was really unwell. He was a proud man, at least with regards to his appearance, and didn't like people seeing him so poorly. The day he died, my cousin put a photograph on Facebook of her son hugging him. Titled it Pop's Last Hug. It's an uncomfortable picture. The boy has an expression that reads, "I have been told to smile for the camera, so here's a grimace." And my grandfather just isn't there in it at all. I was pissed. He'd have hated to have that picture for everyone to see. Even taking the picture was tasteless, but sure, whatever. But uploading it was disgusting. I silenced her recently after more uncomfortable oversharing. It isn't helpful for me to see her nonsense.